Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna run a little experiment again, and that is gonna be, I want to find out what the best grit is to sharpen your kitchen knives. So in the past I already did a little bit of testing on this, but I want to do it a bit more scientific here. And that is, if you want to cut something like tomatoes, for example, do I actually want an extremely fine polish on my edge? Or is it maybe even better if I get a coarser edge and I get more of like a serrated knife effect? That goes back to something I had happened where I made a knife, I sharpened it for someone, and then he said, yeah, he really enjoys it, but for some reason he cannot cut tomatoes with it. And it was a Damascus steel knife and with a really well polished edge. And I thought that was kind of weird. How could this happen if it cuts everything but not tomatoes? So I wanna get to the bottom of this. I have prepared some of my diamond stones. The reason why I use these is because in a previous video I already explored this further. Basically, different countries have different standards organizations for their grits. And so if we go from like a very low grit to a very high grit, and we change these standards, for example, I'm using my Japanese sharpening stone, that doesn't work because a 3000 grit does not follow a 1000 grit on these ones. And so I only got my DMT stones. This is the one single brand where I got the most stones from. They go from the extra coarse, which should be around a 220 grit, to an extra fine, which should be around a 1200 grit, which that should be plenty of range. And I'm gonna sharpen my trusty test knife here that I use in a lot of my videos. And we're going to weigh how much force it takes to cut a tomato, both by pressing and by slicing. For this I got some that are like still on the vine, so I thought there should be the least amount of variable between each of the tomatoes if it came from the same plant. Obviously there's still going to be variants with natural products, so we're just gonna do several samples per test and then see how the results turn out. So let's get to it. At first we're gonna start off with the extra coarse stone, which should be around 8 to 20 grit. I'm just gonna sharpen it very quickly on here. Should be holding the same angle and then it's good. I'm not gonna show every sharpening step because that's not really what this video is about, so I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. We've now got a very nice burr on the backside. You can hear how my finger catches. I'm still gonna use the leather strop to get rid of the burr, because I will need something, especially on the coarser stone. We'll also need to do the cutting trick a bit to get rid of this burr, but it shouldn't really change the edge geometry too much. Just, you know, get us all on an even playing field with all the different grits. This is the knife now after some sharpening. As you can see, it's a pretty coarse grind, but without a burr. And now I've got this little contraption here on a kitchen scale. I'm gonna put the tomatoes in here, hopefully set it somehow that it's not gonna roll away. And then I'm gonna do a push, and then I'm gonna do a draw cut. And we're gonna see how much weight is required, or how much force is required to cut a tomato. I've teared the scale now, and so let's test it. So that required about 1.3 kilograms of force to cut it by just pushing down. That was around where the maximum was. I'm gonna use the second one. Oh, already teared, so they weigh the same, which is good to know. Then I'm gonna do a draw cut and see how this would work. So that was a little bit over 300 gram to cut it with the 220 grit. Now let's go to a finer grit. This is now sharpened to a 325 grit on the normal coarse stone, which is, while sharpening, noticeably finer and visually a little bit better than this. You can already see that it's starting to get polished, and before you would really, all the striations would really shine out. And it's also noticeably sharper if I feel it. There's now no sign of a burr, and it feels very smooth already. So let's try it. This is now the second push cut. So already at the first results we saw there's much less force required with the 325 grit compared to the other one. I even did 2 tries to see, but even on the push cut our force went down by 50%. The first one was around 900, the second one a bit over 600. That's why I tried to do multiple tries. You know, there's gonna be variation, but the difference is immense already with such a small step in a grid. Now let's just gonna do a draw cut here to really see the last difference. But I think I'm only gonna do one here because the difference was so clear. Yeah, so this was not even 300 grams of force required. So already the serration effect on the knife is not true with a very coarse sharpening stone, right? So going from 220 to 300 is already such a big difference. So just having a very coarse knife for something like a tomato where you need to penetrate the skin is not the right way to do it. But let's see how it goes when we go onto the finer grit. This is now sharpened to the fine grit, which is a 600 grit. So let's see how it does on the push cut. And this is exactly what I thought. We are now at the 600 grit, and now we're starting to see that the power that we need, the amount of force that is needed, increased by a lot. So we are almost back at the same force that we needed with the 220 grit, even though there was a huge difference with the 320 grit. So I tried a few different tomatoes. This one seems a lot harder than on the other ones. This one seemed quite soft. I'm gonna try this one, but the difference was so massive that I don't think that that actually was one of the causes. Yeah, no, don't even need to continue because we are already at a kilogram of force and it's still not through, while it cut it easily before. So that's already 1 point for our theory. I'm gonna do a draw cut now and see if maybe here, this is where some of the difference is. This is where the finer cut shines. I'm gonna see. And this is a nice result. As you saw, there was basically no force required. On the push cut, it was a lot worse. But on the draw cut, there was the 100 grams were like from my fingers. I can't get this to stay steady without holding it a little bit, but I did give it, the same amount of force on all the other tries. So it should be fair, but I'm just gonna turn this around and use it again for a little bit, and then yeah, there's no force required to get through it now that we are on the finer cut. Gonna just do it with its own weight. Yeah, and you see it cuts easily. This is a very nice result. And this is now after sharpening with the finest grit I have, the extra fine at a 1200 grit. This is now basically a mirror finish. I mean, you could go a little bit finer, but basically a mirror finish and as fine as you will normally sharpen a kitchen knife. Feels very sharp. And now let's do the push cut first, the interesting one. Let's see if a force required changed somehow. So it required a bit less force. It was at around a kilogram, which is a few hundred grams less, but still quite a lot more than with the 320 grit. So now let's try the draw cut. Let's put it on the side and see the draw cut and see if we have reduced our required force even more. Yeah. So this is now basically, because I'm only holding the knife on the back and I'm letting it, go through it with its own weight. This is now basically the weight of the knife plus, yeah, that's it. It's the weight of the knife. that's the only amount of force that we are measuring here. There's basically no force by me that I'm applying for the sharpening. Or extra force rather. That's third. This one is a bit smaller. Yeah, not even 100 grams. And that's what the grids do. So that was it with the test. And I'm super excited for these results because they really showed what I was already expecting. If someone in his life has never used a properly sharpened knife with a nice and polished edge, and they maybe just used like a knife steel or one of these pull-through sharpeners, then he might actually not know that you are supposed to draw your knife when you are cutting. And if he is used to a push cut, then a nice and polished edge might seem completely counterproductive. As we saw at about 325 grit, it was a sweet spot. That was the least amount of force on the push cut. And it was also a point where it didn't really matter if we did a push or a draw cut on the tomato. That's also interesting. So if you've never used a nice and polished edge, you might think that it doesn't matter. Because for your knife, it actually does not matter. And with the person who was complaining, about the knife that he can't cut the tomatoes, it might have been the case that he's never had a nice sharpened knife, and now he's got one, but he doesn't know that he needs to do a draw cut. And with the draw cut, we saw the finer you go, actually the better it is. And up until 1200 grit, and then it was just the weight of the knife that I put on it. Basically, there was absolutely no force required. It was just my fingers holding the tomato, and if I didn't have that, probably the scale would have shown a few grams less even. But nice result. So if you at some point sharpen a knife for someone and he complains that he can't cut tomatoes, you can tell him, learn how to use a knife first, and that it's actually not your fault. If he doesn't believe it, then you can show him this video. That was it. I hope you learned something. I hope you found it as interesting as I did. If you did, then consider subscribing and giving the video a like, and then I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.